covering Pakistan's exhilarating 109-run victory on day 5 of the second test at Sabina Park, Jamaica versus the West Indies with my guest Hatib Khan aka Malik from Reading, UK on this volume of
CRIQAZI Diaries.
Have a look at that, miles up, oh, it's nearly taken someone out the stands. That was a flat six right under the stand there, the George Giffen stand, up into the members, and it went like a rocket. Well, wicket 24.
अच्छा जी Malik, welcome to this volume of CRIQAZI Diaries. और सबसे पहले तो बहुत मुबारक हो. That was a wonderful win, a memorable win for Pakistan cricket. How are you feeling about it? Share your thoughts.
Good, जब तक जीते नहीं, you still, had that fear कि, शायद कुछ भी हो सकता है, especially, जिस तरह 7th wicket पे खड़े हुए थे वो लोग. But congratulations to you too, and this is good for Pakistan cricket, and happy to see a victory finally.
Oh, absolutely. अच्छा, इस वाले segment पे I want to focus on कितनी मुश्किलों से पाकिस्तान इस मैच में वापस आया, and then the commendable way in which they went on to win it. देखो, you were 1-0 down. पहला टेस्ट आप हारे जो आप जीत सकते थे, एक तो उसका प्रेशर, एंड देन 3 डाउन फॉर 2 रन्स. उस पे फिर फवाद आलम और बाबर आजम ने 158 रन्स की पार्टनरशिप की. बाबर वेंट ऑन टू मेक 75 एंड फवाद वेंट ऑन टू मेक एन अनबीटन 124, हिज 5th टेस्ट सेंचुरी. तो पहले तो आपने वहां मैच बचाया, फिर 302 for 9 पे डिक्लेयर किया, कीपिंग इन माइंड के टाइम ज्यादा नहीं है. देन पाकिस्तान बोल्ड आउट वेस्ट इंडीज फॉर 150, which was also really amazing, and I don't have superlatives for it. And then they went on to score very, very freely. बहुत तेज खेला पाकिस्तान ने. They got to 176 for 6 in 27 and a half overs. Then they declared, gave themselves enough overs to bowl out the West Indies. And then, they had 9 wickets to take on the last day, and they were able to do that. So, कोई किसी भी पोजीशन पे पाकिस्तान के लिए आसान नहीं था. Every day there were new challenges and it was a race against time. So how big of a victory do you think this is in keeping all of that stuff in context?
I think this will be probably one of the ones, Joe, that's gonna go down in history books as well, just for those reasons. And you forgot to mention कि बीच में there was rain as well, which impacted yesterday. So there's another factor. उसके बावजूद जीत गए. So absolutely coming back from 3 wickets down for 2 runs is massive. मतलब just that part alone of that test match was enough to sort of put us on the back foot and make Babar defensive, and we've seen कि वो already defensive captaincy करता है, so that should have pushed him further. Like, he's shown a lot of character through this test match, and that knock between him and Fawad, that really set the tone, and मतलब एक counter attack मिला हमें और बड़ा अच्छा score किया, बड़ी sensible innings खेली है दोनों ने, तो जितना credit इन दोनों को दो काम है.
I mean, the pressure was on, और फिर वही, you brought that up, day 2 was washed out entirely. फिर day 3 पे wet outfield की वजह से इतना late play start हुआ. I think by the end of the first 3 days, there were barely like 120 odd overs that were bowled, क्योंकि bad light थी, हर दिन आ जाती थी, overs खा जाती थी. So there weren't a lot of overs to play with. तो मेरे तो ख्याल से बाबर आजम की captaincy was very aggressive actually, I feel. दोनों टाइम पे उसने declarations बहुत smart की. पहली innings में, पाकिस्तान 302 पे जब पहुंच गई, they were 9 down and he was like, आ जाओ. He wanted some overs to be bowled at the West Indies at the end of that day. और फिर when Pakistan came out to bat again, 176 for 6 पे जब बाबर out हुए, तब 328 की lead थी. A lot of captains over there would be like, no, I want another 20-30 runs just to be safe. But I think Babar recognized कि ज़्यादा time नहीं रह गया game में, और बारिश और bad light और भी overs खा सकती है. So I think that was particularly smart and really, really bold in my opinion. मैं तो बहुत impressed हूँ. और मैं एक बात करना चाहता हूँ कि हमेशा जब भी कोई defensive captaincy आपको नजर आती है, तो हम कहते हैं, oh look, डिफेंसिव कैप्टनसी है, पाकिस्तान के तो कैप्टन्स होते ही ऐसे हैं, मिसबा का इन्फ्लुएंस ट्रिकल डाउन कर गया बाबर पे. तो अब जब उसका ऑपोजिट हुआ है, जब उसने बोल्ड डिसीजंस लिए और अग्रेसिव कैप्टनसी दिखाई है, आई थिंक वी शुड प्रेज हिम जस्ट एज इक्वली, नो?
I agree, and I think I am one of those people जो ये बात काफी vocally करता है कि मिसबा की कैप्टनसी इस तरह पास ऑन हुई है, लेकिन this was the first time बाबर ने इस तरह के initiatives लिए हैं, and it paid off. तो मतलब you see doing and taking bold decisions, थोड़ा aggressive होना does pay off, और आपको आजकल की क्रिकेट में, any format क्रिकेट में, ये ऐसी aggressiveness चाहिए, इतनी bold decisions आपको चाहिए, and they pay off, and Babar should see this and learn further कि यार इस तरह open captaincy करनी चाहिए. इतना जो आपका रेन स्ट्रक मैच हो, ठीक है, स्टॉप हो रहा है, चल रहा है, you're losing overs and still keeping this sort of game plan in mind, तो ये मतलब that's very very commendable to Babar कि उसने इस तरह सोचा और इस तरह उसने execute किया, because usually अगर इस तरह आपके overs कम हो रहे हैं, बारिश हो रही है, you would expect कि match draw की तरफ जा रहा है, it's inevitable, it's gonna end up for a draw, तो just safe खेलो, लेकिन he was spot on with his decisions and I think he should continue with this form of captaincy.
I agree. और फिर 330 के जब से टारगेट सेट किए वेस्ट इंडीज के लिए, तो they had about 130 overs on paper to chase that down. रन रेट तो ज्यादा नहीं चाहिए था उनको to chase that down. तो even though West Indies hadn't scored 300 yet in the series, और मतलब उनकी बैटिंग थोड़ी questionable है, it wasn't beyond the realm of possibility कि वेस्ट इंडीज ये जीत सकती थी. तो I think वो जो उसने कॉन्फिडेंस दिखाया ना अपने bowlers के अंदर कि you guys will go out and get me 10 wickets and we'll give ourselves enough overs. That confidence in the team is inspiring, and I think कि as a leader he's growing day by day. As a captain, as a tactician, he's growing day by day. और दूसरी बात ये कि हम दोनों ने ये बात पहले भी की हुई है, we've agreed on this that Babar was not a natural born leader. जिस तरह कि आप इमरान खान देख लो, even सरफराज had that about him. बाबर में वो चीज नहीं थी. तो I think उसकी जो progress जारी है as captain across formats, मैं तो काफी satisfied हूँ, and in Test cricket particular, I really like what I'm seeing.
Same, absolutely. अच्छा कर रहा है, अच्छा सीख रहा है, and he should take this form के मतलब ठीक है, इसी तरह रहना चाहिए, and the things will pay off. And obviously, changes do take time. आप एकदम से overly aggressive भी नहीं हो सकते, आपको थोड़ा sensibly lead करना है. And even जब मैं ये देख रहा था इनकी second innings, तो I thought to myself as well कि he's probably aiming for 350, 360. लेकिन जब उसने उससे पहले declare किया, that was quite a shock to me as well कि चलो उसकी wicket गई है तो उसने साथ ही किया declare, which was good and bold. He used those overs very well and he needed those overs actually. We saw that today as well.
अच्छा, मैं तो I was really happy when he did that because I was like, चलो यार, यहाँ जीते या हारे या draw, he's given his team enough overs, and that I think was more important for me at that point. But yeah, 6 test matches in this year, Babar Azam's first 6 test matches as captain, and he's won 5, lost 1, so that's a fantastic start.
Absolutely, he's doing well, and वो ये कि मतलब this is the first time we've seen any aggressive or bold decisions come from Babar himself, and I feel like this is how he should continue. This is how cricket has evolved in today's time, and he should be a leader like this.
100% agreed. और वही बात है ना कि वैसे तो this test match was in the pocket, but it was the rain and the bad light delays and the wet outfield delays जिसकी वजह से फंस गया था ये match. There wasn't enough time, so 100% a lot of credit goes to Babar, and I'm loving the captain that he's maturing into.
Apart from the weather factors, of course, we shouldn't forget the top order collapsing.
Yeah.
Three wickets
or
down.
Shouldering that responsibility, coming out to bat and then batting the way he did with Babar Azam, तो बहुत ज़्यादा credit जाता है. And yeah, I only wish him the best going into the future. Acha Malik, in this next segment, I want to touch on Pakistan's fielding and bowling effort in this test match. पहले तो fielding पे आ जाते हैं, तो वैसे तो generally I was really happy, with the catching and the fielding, क्योंकि पिछले मैच में पाकिस्तान lost because of drop catches. They would have won that game as well. ये 2-0 सीरीज जीतते होते, मगर वो वाली आप हारे हो because of your catching. And in this game, I thought the catching was actually really good. Babar took a few rippers. Fawad Alam का जो catch था at Gully, and then Imran Butt once again. आज भी उसने एक amazing catch पकड़ा, कमीना किस्म का. But आबिद अली तकरीबन मरवा गया था पाकिस्तान को. He dropped 2 dollies और वो भी इतनी crucial wickets यार. Like first Craig Brathwaite, West Indies, their most reliable batsman, unka captain, he dropped him for 25 or dolly in slips, and then he dropped a very easy catch at silly point, Kyle Mayers ka just time pe Pakistan ko zarurat thi bahut wicket ki, and you could see Noman Ali's frustration on that drop catch as well. So barring Abid Ali, who I'm not sure if he keeps catching like this, तो मुझे तो पता नहीं उसका future है test cricket पे नहीं. I was fairly satisfied with the fielding, especially given that we lost the previous test due to our fielding. How do you feel, and how do you feel about those drop catches in particular?
As basic as it sounds, मतलब catches win matches, ठीक है? And we have the biggest example in the previous match कि हमने drop किए, हारे हैं catch. तो मतलब I think it's criminal at this point, the sort of catches he dropped. यहाँ तो अगर कोई बहुत ही मुश्किल chance होता जिसमें थोड़ा सा भी benefit fielder को जाता है तो you'd understand. But as you mentioned, dollies, बिल्कुल आसान catches, and इस caliber के players, they should just take them eyes closed at this point. मतलब आसान सा catch आ रहा है आपने छोड़ दिया, वो भी दोनों catches जो थे, they were crucial stages. And once again, if वो 7th wicket वाली partnership चलती रहती, and if we saw a different result, the blame would have been just on fielding again. So they really need to step this up.
मैं तो मतलब मुझे इसी बात की फ्रस्ट्रेशन हो रही थी कि I don't want to let go of another test match due to fielding because those catches 100% could have cost Pakistan. वो तो एक बारिश भी आ गई थी बीच में, शुक्र है चली गई. But yeah, like lunch से पहले you could have had West Indies at 6 down and then you could have had them 7 down earlier. वो तो किस्मत आज अच्छी थी कि those catches didn't cost Pakistan as much, but I think they really could have taken the game away from them. You know, West Indies could have drawn this game. I don't think they could have won it, but they could have drawn it as a result of those drop catches. Khair, moving on to the bowlers, and I think what better place to start than Shaheen Shah Afridi. Acha Malik, jo Shaheen Shah Afridi hai na, one-day cricket and T20 cricket mein to he had shown the world what he's capable of, and he'd already become a force to reckon with. But I think ye jo series thi na, Test cricket mein, he has really announced himself in the Test arena in this series. 18 wickets at an average of about 11.2 or something in this series. It's by far the best he's performed with the red ball. और finally आपको नजर आ रहा है कि you know all formats में Shaheen Shah Afridi is pretty much your best player after Babar Azam. और the fact that he's only 21, it just makes it all the more promising that कितना और ये आपके लिए deliver करेगा. And then potentially मैं तो चाहता हूँ कि वसीम अकरम का record तोड़े, 414 wickets को तोड़े.
बिल्कुल, and the way he's going तोड़ भी सकता है, लेकिन I feel like ये, as you mentioned, बाकी इस टेस्ट में he sort of announced himself, but he still has a long way to go because उसकी अक्सर जो economy है वो थोड़ी suffer कर जाती है. He does get wickets, but not as consistent, leaving this series aside. तो उसके अंदर ये है कि I think the management should start thinking about Shaheen as an asset that has to be used properly. ठीक है, उसको और डेवलप करें. लाइक वी नो ही वर्क्स हार्ड, मतलब एक्सट्रीमली हार्ड. उसने वाइट बॉल में भी अपनी गेम अप की है और अब टेस्ट में भी उसने अपनी गेम अप कर दी है. तो अब इसको थोड़ा प्रॉपर यूटिलाइज करें एंड गिव हिम द सॉर्ट ऑफ यू नो एक्स्ट्रा कोचिंग और केयर दैट ही नीड्स टू प्रोग्रेस. You know, उसकी सीरीज सेलेक्ट करें, उसके मैचेस सेलेक्ट करें एंड यूज हिम प्रॉपर्ली. डोंट जस्ट हैव हिम गो देयर. नहीं तो एट वन पॉइंट ही इज गोइंग टू जस्ट burn out pretty much. और उस point पे it's hard for a bowler to come back. You know, अगर वो उस तरह का एक patch hit कर लेता है, it'll be difficult for him to come back. And he's a hard worker, तो I hope कि उसका ये अच्छा एक form चलता रहे. He's our best bowler at this time, and I think we should just use him a bit more carefully.
I do agree over there. Like you don't want him to burn himself out. Or we baat hai कि how many bowlers from Pakistan we've seen already who've you know the careers have been completely derailed because of an injury. So I do agree with you there. But you know I think इस test match में पहले तो वो 6 विकेटें पहली innings में लेना, ठीक है, 150 पे वेस्ट इंडीज को ऑल आउट करना. And then even today फिर वो आप वो भी तो मत भूलो जो डायरेक्ट हिट मारी है उसने. And then he really stuck it out with the bat. पाकिस्तान को 300 तक लेकर गए शाहीन with फवाद आलम. तो I don't think he put a foot wrong in this test. और फिर आज भी he got you Alzari, Joseph, आतिसारी. फिर जब कायल मेयर्स ड्रॉप हो गया था और बारिश आने लगी थी right before the rain hit, he got Kyle Mayers out. और वो तो क्या ही खूबसूरत बॉल थी. What a beauty. I mean वो तो उससे थोड़ी टच हो गई वरना बोल्ड हो रहा था वो. And then you know when you needed him at the end to finish off the tail with the new ball, he delivered right away. पाकिस्तान को कोई टेंशन नहीं दी कि इतने ओवर्स रह गए हैं, बैड लाइट आ रही है, मैच खत्म होने लगा. I was afraid that might happen, but he delivered. And then his first 10-wicket haul in his test career. I think man of the match शायद फवाद का बनता था यहाँ पे क्योंकि seamer friendly conditions थी and he got 100. So I think I would have given him the man of the match as opposed to Shaheen. मगर man of the series तो शाहीन अफरीदी का ही बनता था 100%. He was the best bowler on display on both sides.
Agreed, absolutely. I would still give it to Shaheen actually, क्योंकि इस तरह wickets निकालना crunch situations में, मतलब it's between winning and losing. मतलब not taking anything away from Fawad, he batted brilliantly. लेकिन Shaheen ने जिस तरह wickets निकाली हैं, जिस तरह शुरू में पहली innings में उनको out किया and everything, it's just amazing to watch. Finally there's a test bowler who delivers, मतलब you know, who's a wicket taker. He's not just bowling to, you know, beat the batsman. He's not just gonna have a good spell and leave. He's actually taking wickets and he's winning you the game. So that's amazing to see, and that's quite rare as well.
And he relishes that challenge. Puri jaan marta hai, wo leaves everything out on the pitch. And you know, I see that hunger in him कि मैंने best बनना है. वो बाबर आजम वाली hunger नजर आती है. खैर, enough on Shaheen. Mohammad Abbas काफी देर से out of form था. I think he got the nod in this series because of the seamer friendly wickets and also क्योंकि Duke's ball इस्तेमाल हो रही थी. Abbas has been very successful with the Duke's ball. I wouldn't say he was stellar, मगर I think he did enough crucial वक्तों पे विकेटें लेकर दी. And whenever Abbas got a wicket, he got you 2. We've seen that a bunch of times in this series. So I would give him a passing grade. And you know, future जहाँ पे भी आपकी future में आती है इस तरह की series जहाँ पे you have to play 4 seamers, I think he would be the 4th seamer. Pace थोड़ी drop हो गई है, but I think he's done enough over here. What do you think?
I just think it depends on where you're playing, because Asian conditions में not gonna be the best, because उसकी pace नहीं है, and वो जो मूवमेंट होती है पेस के बगैर यूएई में, it's not gonna help him at all. लेकिन हाँ, इंग्लैंड and जिस तरह वेस्ट इंडीज आ गया, even South Africa, Australia, I'd have him in the squad for sure. Just because the sort of control he has on his bowling and the consistency, accuracy, वो सिर्फ इसी के पास है. मतलब he finds that channel and he bowls on that.
I think मोहम्मद आसिफ के पास वो जो consistent line and length वाली चीज है, जो corridor of uncertainty में बॉल कराते हैं bowlers. I think Abbas is the only one that comes to my mind. और तो किसी के अंदर वो वाली मैंने ability नहीं देखी. Moving on to Hassan Ali, he was having a stellar year in Test cricket up until now. ये वाली सीरीज में इतना चला नहीं बॉल के साथ, but it wasn't as if he failed. और दूसरी बात ये कि आज भी देखो, he got you 2 wickets early on in the day. लंच से पहले जो वेस्ट इंडीज 5 डाउन हुई है, हसन का बहुत बड़ा हाथ था उसके अंदर, and they were big wickets as well. He got both Nkrumah Bonner, he got him LBW, और वही अपनी in swinging delivery के साथ, and then he got you Roston Chase as well, and we all know what Roston Chase can do from the last time Pakistan toured the West Indies. तकरीबन उनको वो मैच बचाकर दे दिया था उसने. So I think the fact that Hassan Ali can also provide a lot of support with the bat, आकर हिटे शिटे मार देता है, which he did in the second innings for Pakistan. So I think अभी ठीक है, शायद इतना चला मत हो बॉल के साथ इस सीरीज में, but of course you would have Hassan Ali. There's no argument over there.
Agreed. लेकिन I feel like if bowling में भी he has to deliver a little more. अभी उसने इतना कोई, maybe it's just these matches, I feel like I can't give him a specialist bowler role. ठीक है, he gets wickets and everything, but he's missing that specialist bowler के आएगा wicket. जिस तरह इसका शुरू में एक time था where he was the first change bowler who would come in and get you wickets. But at this point it's a little hit or miss with his bowling. Batting में yes, he's been contributing a lot. मतलब वो whatever match it is, he scores runs and he's really worked hard. When batting में नजर आता है कि चलो यार, he does sort of get you some runs. Bowling, I still feel it's a hit or miss. Like I wouldn't say कि Hassan's gonna come in and get me 3 wickets. I mean, when Hassan's gonna come in and maybe अच्छी अगर हो गया तो ले जाएगा wicket.
जब चल जाता है तो he gets you 10 first. I mean, he's gotten those twice in the year earlier. But with the ball this series, I think he was just as good as Fahim. But Fahim, I think, was really good, honestly. Like, इससे बेहतर तो नहीं मैंने Fahim Ashraf को टेस्ट क्रिकेट में बॉलिंग कराते हुए देखा. काफी उसकी जैग बैक की है बॉल. He got prodigious in swing, वो जो scramble seam से कराता है. Accurate था, crucial वक्त पे wickets ली. बैट के साथ तो he's been contributing for a while. अब तो I think he averages over 35 in test cricket with the bat and under 32 with the ball. So I think as an all-rounder, he's done his job. और जहाँ उसकी जरूरत थी bowling में, I think he delivered.
Yeah, and exactly, Fahim ने deliver किया and he played the role he was supposed to. But वही बात है, Hassan is falling more into that category than into Shaheen's category. So you have Shaheen on one end and then you have Fahim as a bowler all-rounder, ठीक है? And then Hassan is somewhere in between, ठीक है? वो he's not finding his spot इस तरह से. तो Fahim, yes, we know he's an all-rounder, लेकिन he's delivered. तो मतलब उसकी जगह तो पक्की है कि उसको जब Babar called upon him to come and ball, get him a wicket, उसने वो भी करके दिया. So he's doing his role absolutely, the way he should be doing it. Hassan is sort of still finding that spot. कि यार, is he that sort of bowler or is he not that sort of bowler? On his day, yes, he is. लेकिन a bit more consistency would be nice.
I mean, sure, I would disagree with you a little over there. I think Hassan has done enough with the ball in the previous series. But yes, this series, he was a little lackluster. खैर आते हैं मेरे फेवरेट बंदे पे, नुमान अली. कल तक तो मुझे लग रहा था कि यार किसको खिलाया क्यों है, इसको अगर एक ही ओवर देना था, मगर आज जवाब मिल गया. उसको 4th innings के लिए खिलाया and boy did he deliver. मतलब पहले तो it was a tricky decision. तुमने भी कहा था कि you'd rather have Yasir Shah and I was like maybe नुमान अली की जगह बनती है and he proved कि बनती है, क्योंकि जहां पे स्पिन ना हो रही हो, I think यासिर से बेहतर ऑप्शन नुमान है. विकेट टू विकेट बॉलिंग कराता है और आज जो उसने विकेट्स लेकर दिया आपको, सारी बिग विकेट्स. फर्स्ट क्रेग ब्रैथवेट, then he got you Jason Holder, और वो होल्डर जिस तरह खेल रहा था ना 47 पे, for a minute I thought ये तो शायद जिता ही ना दे कहीं वेस्ट इंडीज को. and then also the vice captain Jermaine Blackwood, जो काफी अच्छा खेल रहा था आज. तो जो तीनों विकेट्स थी नुमान अली की बहुत क्रूशियल थी. 3 for 52 I think he ended up with. and I think कि जहां पाकिस्तान ऐसी जगह पे टेस्ट मैचेस खेलेगा ना जहाँ पे you only play one spinner, I think Numan Ali has taken that spot from Yasir Shah now.
I think it's a tough one between him and Yasir, and still I think he bowled really, really, really well. So yeah, I'm all with you on that, and he got the main wickets as well. And yeah, we could see it's a seamer friendly pitch. So मतलब पहले चाहते हैं तो मतलब कोई खास था नहीं, so that's fine. Again, this goes back to crediting Babar for his decision. कि मतलब उसको पहले नहीं, I think he bowled 2 overs yesterday.
One over in the first innings. और आज तो he came out to bowl for the first time in this innings. So
and आज he delivered when the conditions suited him. But even when they got the new ball, he won the first over with that new ball, which was amazing to see. So matlab he's told Pakistan that he's a solid option in the absence of Yasir Shah. So if Yasir Shah is not performing, if he's at a bad patch, he's absolutely the substitute at this point. I don't know how long he's going to last, given how old he is. तो मतलब अगर ये टेस्ट चैंपियनशिप के एंड तक हमें लेके जाते हैं कि नहीं लेके जाते, but he's an option, absolutely. He's proven that, so keep him in the squad for now, absolutely.
बैटिंग भी कर लेता है, माइजरली है, रन ज्यादा नहीं देता, विकेट टू विकेट है, और फिर आज तो उसने तुम्हें डांस भी करके दिखा दिया. कैसा था वो, कैसा लगा तुम्हें? That I think was my favorite moment of the day.
Absolutely नहीं, मतलब the thing is इस तरह की विकेट आप ले रहे हो तो expressions do come out and shows his spirit, shows his passion for the sport. Means he's not done, मतलब age is just a number for him, I guess, at this point. तो जो भी उनकी age है, it's fine, but solid option going forward.
Yeah, he's a passionate lad. I mean, वो कितनी उसे सुना रहा था आबिद अली को जब कैच भी ड्रॉप हुआ है. खैर, let's move on to the next segment. I think bowlers की बहुत बात हो गई है. अच्छा जी मलिक, in this particular segment, I just want to talk about the World Test Championship as a whole and Pakistan's team going forward. So I think Pakistan, अभी तो खुश होंगे. Obviously, it was such a remarkable victory. मगर when they go back home, they will be a little disappointed कि पहला टेस्ट हाथ से जाने दिया. They should have won it. कैचेस ड्रॉप कर दिए तो वो आपके हाथ से निकल गया. 12 पॉइंट चले गए वर्ल्ड टेस्ट चैंपियनशिप के. बट दे हैव 3 अवे सीरीज. तीनों सीरीज रिलेटिवली आसान है. दिस वाज द हार्डेस्ट वन एंड दे गॉट 1-1 आउट ऑफ इट एज अ रिजल्ट. दूसरी आपकी सीरीज है वे देयर वर्सेस श्रीलंका एंड बांग्लादेश, एंड देन एट होम यू हैव ऑस्ट्रेलिया, न्यूजीलैंड एंड इंग्लैंड. तो इसको जरा मद्देनजर रखते हुए कैसा लग रहा है? लाइक आई थिंक पाकिस्तान's got a really good chance over here to make that World Test Championship final in 2023.
I'm a bit skeptical about that, very especially given कि मतलब ये, as you mentioned, पहला टेस्ट हमें जीतना चाहिए था. So for a country that's playing less tests compared to the other some of the teams that you mentioned, Australia, England, India, सारों के टेस्ट थोड़े ज़्यादा हैं. So we really should have capitalized on that first test. And I think going forward, मुझे like when you look at the other teams of England or India, का देखें, the teams and the sort of matches they're having are a lot more intense, I would say, than the ones we've played at this point. ये जिस तरह के catches आज छोटे हैं आबिद अली वगैरह से and all, these would really hurt in big games when you're playing England or Australia at home and you drop a chance. That is game, that's done. ठीक है, you came back from it, in this match. पिछले match में we couldn't. So that being said, I think there's going to be a slight revamp of some players. हमारा जो opening pair है, that needs to go. I'm not sure about Azhar Ali if he can stick it till the end of the Test Championship. So they need 3 solid batsmen coming into the side जो आपका top order संभाल रहे हैं. अभी तो मतलब बाबर is coming out right away. जब आपके 3 आउट हो गए 2 रन पे, तो बाबर who should be coming, when we should be about, I don't know, close to 180, 70 runs, maybe 200 runs, तब आके संभाले, वो शुरू से संभाल रहा है. So when we're going against, quality, and I'm not taking away anything from the West Indies team, but when you're going against these quality teams, जिनके bowlers, specialized हैं, they've researched, उनको पता है क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना, उनके सामने तो फिर मतलब we'd be looking at collapses much more frequently. So I think ये top 3 का जो issue है, this needs to be addressed. Yes,
My grievances are very much the same. मतलब ये काफी देर से पाकिस्तान का तो ओपनर्स का मसला मेरे ख्याल से कभी मेरी जिंदगी में तो शायद सॉल्व ही नहीं हुआ. टेस्ट क्रिकेट पे तो नहीं हुआ, वनडे में हो गया. But yeah, I mean, Imran, but ठीक है यार, I probably have never seen that good a slip catcher from Pakistan, but you can't keep your spot in the team just because of that. और फिर आबिद अली है यार. अच्छा, ये नहीं हम कर सकते कि किसी तरह इमरान बट की कैचिंग को पकड़ लें, आबिद अली की बैटिंग को पकड़ लें और एक ओपनर बना दे, काश. बट या आबिद अली का ये है कि बड़ी साइड्स के खिलाफ ना he hasn't performed. उसने डबल 100 मारा जिम्बाब्वे के खिलाफ और 2 100s मारे थे उसने श्रीलंका के खिलाफ. उन तीनों 100s को आप निकाल दो तो उसकी कोई परफॉर्मेंस ही नहीं है, and that's worrying for me. और I'm not particularly a fan of his fitness. मुझे थोड़ा वो अनफिट सा भी लगता है. तो हाँ, ओपनिंग प्रॉब्लम्स प्रिवेल और मुझे नहीं पता क्या सोल्यूशन है. मैं तो यही सोल्यूशन बार-बार प्रेजेंट कर रहा हूँ कि अजहर से ओपन करा लो और साउथ शकील को आप 3 पे ले आओ. बट एज यू सेड, अजहर ने आपको कोई इतना कन्विंस नहीं किया. आई थॉट दिस वाज गोइंग टू बी अ बिग सीरीज फॉर अजहर अली क्योंकि ही हैज बीन सक्सेसफुल इन द वेस्ट इंडीज बिफोर. सो आई एम रियली वरीड फॉर हिम. और maybe potentially future में you could consider bringing Asad Shafiq back and sitting out Azhar Ali क्योंकि थोड़ा experience तो आपको चाहिए होगा. But yeah, top 3 is a massive issue going forward into this World Test Championship.
बिल्कुल, and I think Asad should be utilized because वो उसका एक skill है, ठीक है, वो he was the sort of underrated player back in Misbah Yunus's era, ठीक है, लेकिन वो हमेशा runs contribute करके जाता था. He's always been fit, and अभी भी he's a much better batsman than the top three we have. Azhar Ali, ठीक है, when he's good, it's fine, लेकिन we've seen कि बिल्कुल कोई contribution नहीं है for Azhar Ali to perform. वो एक बड़ा छोटा सा patch आता है जिसमें वो अच्छी performance देता है और उसके बाद फिर उसका ये एक बुरा फेज शुरू हो जाता है, 10 20 सिंगल डिजिट्स. तो आई थिंक ये टॉप 3 पे they need to start changing now so that by that time we know कि यार अगर हमारे कोई चांसेस बन रहे हैं तो हमारे टॉप 3 कौन है. अगर साउथ शकील हमारे लिए आ रहा है टीम में तो उसको फिर ये वाले मैचेस भी खिलाओ. he should have been in the squad. उसको अब पहले टेस्ट में फेल हुए हैं जो प्लेयर्स तो दूसरे में देते हैं, because it's not like एक इनिंग्स है. It's not white ball cricket के एक इनिंग्स में चलो बंदा अनलकी हो जाता है. There's 2 innings, ठीक है. और हमने आबिद अली और उससे बट से सिर्फ रन्स देखे हैं जब उनको हमने लाइसेंस दिया है, हमने प्रेशर वेस्ट इंडीज पे डाल दिया और हमने कहा जाओ हिटिंग करो और वापस आ जाओ. That's when they got some runs. लेकिन that mentality for test cricket wasn't there at all for the previous 3 innings. तो अब just because of ये जो last innings में उन्होंने थोड़े से runs किए हैं, इस basis पे they shouldn't be selected for the next series. अब इनको बिठा के you need to try your other options. Azhar Ali, I don't know, grey area just because उसकी एक history है, and maybe we can't replace all 3 just because we don't have any other talented players. So शायद he stays in, शायद उसका spot as you mentioned, maybe open with them fine. लेकिन at least 2 different batsmen should be coming in, whether that's Saud Shakil and Asad Shafiq. जो भी, make that change.
It's a very interesting point you bring up. पहले तो तुम्हारी उस बात करूंगा मैं जो तुमने कहा है positive intent के साथ जब openers खेले तो they actually got you runs. So maybe they should have always tried to do that. But खैर hindsight is 2020. और अजहर अली की मुझे ऐसा समझ आती नहीं है. I feel like his best days are behind him. काफी देर से हमें उसे perform करते हुए नहीं देखा. He is an established test batsman, but वही बात है कि एक आधी innings आ जाती है और फिर बहुत देर तक fail होता रहता है. Balance थोड़ा out हो गया है उसका, गिर जाता है अक्सर. So I don't know what's happening over there, but खैर we've talked about the negatives enough. थोड़ी positives की बात कर लेते हैं इस World Test Championship में. I think bowling तो it's sorted. पाकिस्तान की bowling में कोई मसला नहीं है. But that backbone जो आपकी बन गई है batting में of Babar Azam, Fawad Alam and Mohammad Rizwan, and then Fahim coming in who's really reliable. I think this is Pakistan's trump card in this World Test Championship because you'll need runs to win Test cricket too. ठीक है 20 विकेट्स चाहिए होती हैं आपको, मगर तब काम नहीं आती 20 विकेट्स जब आपने 200 चढ़ाए हो सिर्फ स्कोर पे. So I think these 3 and Fawad Alam in particular, मैं तो I don't have words for Fawad Alam, man. I feel so sad for him कि बेचारे का इतना वक्त खा गए हैं. जब से वापस आया सेंचुरी पे सेंचुरी कर रहा है. He's been our most consistent batsman और tough runs करके देता है आपको, pressure situations में करके देता है आपको runs. तो Fawad तो I think he's going to continue to star in this World Test Championship. And I really hope he gets at least another 20-25 tests क्योंकि बुढ़ा भी हो गया, थोड़ा 35 का हो गया है. And I think जब तक ये खेलेगा ना ये एक रन सर्कल देगा आपको because he's a proven asset. आप first class के numbers देख लो उसके.
Yeah, and जो भी उसकी age है, yeah, but he's been very hard done, and मतलब that's a very unfortunate case, and it's gonna be remembered in Pakistan's cricket history. लेकिन अब उसको chance मिला हुआ है, he is performing. आज उसने एक बड़ा जबरदस्त catch पकड़ा है, and उसकी fitness है. People who work on themselves, you can see. अब on the other side आप आबिद अली को देख लो कि मतलब उसका तो इस तरह का हिसाब नहीं है, लेकिन his fitness isn't there. तो जो बंदा इस तरह कर रहा है, मेहनती है, he's just amazing. I think he's an example for many cricketers out there, and I think ये तो बिल्कुल, as you mentioned, this man alone will be the backbone of our batting going forward. क्योंकि again, Babar बेचारा, he gets pulled into tough situations as well. So Fawad will always be there to play that key role, and अभी तक he's delivered, मतलब, which is just amazing, too good.
Gritty batsman है, he's a nuggety player as they say. और मतलब खूबसूरत तो नहीं लगेगा आपको. He's not an attractive player to watch, but that doesn't matter. He's effective. और फिर Babar Azam is class. I don't think there's any debate over there. Like Babar तो हमारा best player across formats. And then Rizwan's stock continues to rise across formats as well. So I think that backbone can really bring about a lot of success for Pakistan in the World Test Championship.
Yeah, out of these 3, I think Rizwan is the slowest to sort of adapt onto test conditions. He's good, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan. लेकिन जिस तरह उसने ODI में एकदम, he took over, T20 में एकदम he took over. I think test में अब we're going to see more improvement अगली 1-2 series में. I feel like he's sort of getting into that mentality as well. पता है, लेकिन obviously, when you're playing 3 different formats and you're really excelling at the other 2, it's tough to just put on a face जितना बाबर करता है. बाबर तो 3 personalities लेके आता है ना हर format के लिए. I think रिजवान के भी टेस्ट और develop हो रही है.
यार टेस्ट में कीपिंग भी तो बहुत एनर्जी लेती है ना. लुक एट सम ऑफ द टेक्स ही टुक डाउन लेग जो उसने चौके बचाए हैं वहां पे. भैया आई थिंक उसका रोल फर्क है टेस्ट क्रिकेट में. वो काउंटर अटैकिंग रोल है उसका. आई थिंक ही इज डन वेल. आई थिंक आई टेक हिज टेस्ट परफॉर्मेंसेस ओवर हिज ओडीआई परफॉर्मेंसेस एक्चुअली. बट आई डू हैव फेथ इन रिजवान. आई थिंक ये तीनों फॉर्मेट्स में एक्सेल करेगा. मेहनती लड़का है. फिटनेस उसकी देख लो एंड ही इज सो पॉजिटिव. आप सारा वक्त बॉयज को बकअप कर रहा होता है.
Yep, बिल्कुल. आज भी I think we heard him on the stop mic telling everyone to just hang on, आ जाएगी wicket and काफी अच्छा. You need those sort of players in the team.
अच्छा Malik, in this final segment, I just wanted to talk a little about West Indies as a team going forward in this Test Championship. बहुत ही crucial 12 points ले गए हैं ये. इनके लिए तो बहुत जरूरी थे ये. And then I think they've unearthed some absolute superstars in this series. Jaden Seals comes to mind. ठीक है, इतना impressive है. Only 19 years old. 5 फर्स्ट क्लास मैच खेला सिर्फ, जिसमें से 4 टेस्ट हैं. एंड इन द सीरीज ही वाज द स्टैंड आउट बॉलर. ठीक है, कीमा रोच हैड दैट एक्सपीरियंस एंड ही केप्ट डिलीवरिंग, बट जेडन सील्स वाज दैट एक्स फैक्टर. सीम पोजीशन भी उसकी कितनी खूबसूरत है. ही हैज गॉट द राइट एटीट्यूड एंड स्पिरिट टू प्ले टेस्ट क्रिकेट एंड ही रियली ट्रबल्ड पाकिस्तान.
He did. I think उसकी जो खास वो था कि bounce जो वो use करता था, that was really unexpected for a lot of our batsmen. So he's a really good find, and we know West Indies has been struggling to find decent players for a while now. So absolutely a find, and I think he's gonna stick around for a while.
यार मतलब उसको तो क्रेग ब्रैथवेट ने कहा भी है कि he looks good for 250 test wickets, and I think he might look good for more than that, maybe 300 350 depending on how much test cricket West Indies play. वैसे वो हमसे तो ज्यादा ही खेल लेते हैं. But yeah, again आप कीमा रोच को भी इग्नोर तो नहीं कर सकते. पहला टेस्ट मैच ही उसने जिताया वेस्ट इंडीज को, and then so consistent with the ball. वो मोहम्मद अब्बास टाइप रोल प्ले कर रहा था but at more pace, and जब विकेट चाहिए थी उसने लाकर दी है. I think he was really relentless, didn't give much to Pakistani batsmen, and उसने दिखाया अपना experience that he's a seasoned test professional.
Bilkul, absolutely. Roach did that, and you could see that, the way he interacted with the other seamers as well. So usko pata tha ki baki it's a young attack, and he was speaking to them, bata raha tha, experience share kar raha tha. So you could tell ki he's leading the space attack, and then he sort of led by example as well. He showed off his skills. Ki matlab there's a reason why he's a seasoned test player. Yeah. So absolutely, really well bowled, and pehla match baki usi ne jitaya.
Yeah, and he's a mentor for the younger guys, right? The younger pacers look up to him. But I think the most impressive player in this West Indies squad, and I think there's absolutely no debate here, koi bhi duniya mein dekh raha hoga, you will all agree, Jason Holder I think is top drawer. Is tarah ka all-rounder aapko test cricket mein mil jaye na, it's like gold dust. I mean, I think Ben Stokes ke baad he's the best. I would put him on par with Ravi Jadeja. At times even better, kyunki Holder aapko hamesha runs karke deta hai, and with the ball he's always so effective. तो इस तरह का जो प्लेयर है ना, आई मीन वेस्ट इंडीज ने अगर कुछ करना है ना इस वर्ल्ड टेस्ट चैंपियनशिप में, तो इट हैज टू बी ऑन द बैक ऑफ जेसन होल्डर. अदरवाइज आई डोंट थिंक दे हैव द बैटिंग टू क्वाइट मेक अ मार्क ओवर हियर.
They don't, and अब ये कि I think as a younger team वो भी experiment कर रहे हैं. They're finding the right combination, and they've found some really good players in the series जिसको वो आगे लेके जाएंगे. लेकिन absolutely Holder is that person जो आपको single-handedly अपनी किसी एक दो performance से मैच जिता सकता है. And he's exceptional talent, man. We've seen him bowl, we've seen him bat. Aaj bhi humne usko batting करते थे till he was on the crease, anything could have happened. And he faced about 90 plus deliveries, if I'm not wrong.
नहीं यार, बहुत runs भी करके गया आप.
Yeah, for 47 के पास था, तो मतलब उसने runs किए हैं, इतनी deliveries के लिए, तो he has that mentality where he can switch on and off whenever he wants, and that's a very rare skill to have.
Absolutely.
So the Holder is amazing. मतलब वो तो he's heading down that legends sort of line. So
for sure. I mean, शायद Stokes को भी challenge करने लग जाए in a little while. Batting थोड़ी और consistent हो जाए. I think already काफी consistent है. But वही जब तक वो खड़ा हुआ था, West Indies even had a shot at winning it, honestly. And I think elite sportsman है वो बंदा. Last guy I want to mention, I guess, Joshua De Silva, the keeper. I was really impressed with his keeping. ठीक है, batting में कुछ इतना आपको resolve नहीं नजर आया, इतना बुरा भी नहीं था, मगर keeping जो थी ना उसकी, I remember Shane Dowrich for West Indies, and he wasn't up to that standard. So I think ये जो 4 player है ना, I earmark these guys that if West Indies are to succeed, it will be due to their performances. वरना तो the batting is not up to par to compete.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is that these people have to step up. You've been mentioning Ben Stokes, and Ben Stokes is, top class number 1. Lekin Ben Stokes has that support from his team as well. He has players around him who play their role as well. So where Jason Holder might be let down is कि अगर उसके इर्द-गिर्द team अभी young है, they're still sort of developing their roles, then it takes a heavier toll on him. But imagine these players stepping up and performing exceptionally well, and then imagine what Holder would do on top of that. So that being said, these players are good finds, and I think they found them at the right time as well. ये पहली इनकी series थी, going forward they would know इनकी strength क्या है, what areas they need to work on, and I think this will become a much better side.
Oh yes, I mean, तुमने बड़ी अच्छी बात की है कि they've identified these talents at a good phase in this World Test Championship. और घर पे तो they'll always be a tricky team to beat. They're not a walkover by any stretch of the imagination. Fight करते हैं काफी, and you know, personally, I know that they don't really stand a chance to make the final as such, but I'd like to see them upset some teams over here because they're such an attractive team to watch, and you just can't hate on the West Indies. Never.
And I'm sure they would. कोई ना कोई बीच में जिस तरह हमारी सीरीज हुई है, you know, everyone was expecting कि वो जी टीम जा रही है, जीतेंगे ये, when the way test match played out, and I think we lost by 1 wicket. तो मतलब ये इस तरह की we can expect them to, you know, when they're playing sides like, you know, England or Australia, South Africa, तो मतलब कहीं ना कहीं ये upset जरूर करेंगे, which will be great to watch. They are a bit unpredictable, Pakistan like, and I just love seeing that about them.
Yeah, और इंग्लैंड तो आ भी रही है इनके पास लंबा टूर करने 3 टेस्ट मैचेस, एंड यू नो इंग्लैंड are not doing too well these days, so maybe they can win that series. खैर ये तो वक्त ही बताएगा. Alright folks, that's a wrap for volume 29. Thank you so much for coming to the show, Hatib, और बहुत मुबारक हो तुम्हें फिर से. And of course, as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon in order to be notified about my latest videos. Of course, if you have any questions that you want addressed in future volumes, tweet them at DefMango using the hashtag AskCRIQAZI. That's all from me for now, guys. I'll catch you during the India versus England test as well. But that's it for now. Qazi off the mic.
Have a look at that. Smiles up. Oh, it's nearly taken someone out in the stands. That was a flat 6 right under the stand there, the George Giffen stand, up into the members, and it went like a rocket.